Hello, friends. Well, as the shirt says, it is what it is. There is no sound on all these clips, so I'm going to do a little narration and maybe speed it up. Not sure. Still getting trying to get this editing thing down. But what I'm showing you in the corner is a some free wood that I've collected from a construction site. I may post a minor short on that too. But I've already done, ways to get free wood. So a video on that is already posted. But I had another spot I go to, but that community is done. This video was filmed maybe a few months ago. So part one was the Home Depot trip to where we got this wood, and like I said, with the wood and the screws, I think I had to buy those blades sometime around this time. But with the wood and screws, it was around $80 to $90 for them to cut it up for free, and I brought it home. So I had it already cut, ready to assemble. The only thing is I did use some of my free wood as like the anchor post on the corners in my building of the bed because I wanted to, to give them a little extra brace. So you don't have to buy brackets for that. You can use a little scrap 2x4s or 4x4s or whatever in order to get that done. And the cameraman's holding the camera. That's why he's not helping me unload. But as you can see, this will I'm talking and chit chatting, forgot what I was saying because this was recorded months ago. But I said, let me get the content out. Somebody may not think they can do raised beds on their own, but yes, they can. And build them neatly. And it comes to about $30 a bed, as I said in part one. So you can scatter these all over the yard. And you may, I mean, of course, ask in a homeowners association, ask, is it okay? Or if you're behind a fence, you're pretty much free to do anything normally if you're behind a fence, unless it's something crazy that protrudes above the fence. So, gardening in an HOA is not hard. I have another video coming up with some more alternatives if you have a real strict HOA or if you're in a condo. I mean, you can still garden if you only put a couple of pots on the patio or a raised bed on your front porch with some herbs. It's still a garden. You're still growing something that you're going to eat. Um, so I'm going to show you how to, in this clip, part of the clip, I'm going to show you how I get the nails out of the free wood that I get from construction sites. Because some of the sites will have, 2x4s full of nails. But it's so easy to get those nails out to make that wood usable for a garden project. Uh, and as I'm showing you now, my favorite Ryobi Sawzall, not sponsored, cuts anything, including the nails. So, and I was sure, now don't, it's not really a good idea to do these in your driveway where you're rolling your car, but I was counting as I was doing them and kind of kept count and made sure I picked all the nails up out of my driveway because I don't want to mess up new tires, even though they're under warranty, but still, flat tires are not a good thing. So, basically, I just chop these off. Another alternative from chopping them off and leaving the rest of the nail in the wood is to bang them out and pull them out the other side with a hammer. But for the purpose I was using this for, it was no need to take the whole nail out. So I just basically roll down the board and with the saw and cut the nails. And then basically I cut this down into small pieces to use as a corner bracket. So that saved me, $7, $8 for buying one 2x4 to use for the corner supports of my garden beds. and it was free. Now it's ways to build whole, I mean, I could build bucket stands and everything out of this scrap wood if I find, a spot with it long enough. And I do have a video later. It's already recorded, but it's probably half no sound like this. And I'm still trying to work on my editing. So please be patient with me. And because we all know you start off one way and it gets better as time goes on. So please be patient with me. And I'm so glad you came to watch me and learn. And a little more about me. I am in my late 40s. As they say, a woman should not tell their age, but I don't care. I'm a 70s baby. I am 47 years old, turning 40. What, 46 years old, turning 47 this year. I can't even remember how old I am. I'm getting old. Sorry. um, but 46, turning 47 this year. And um, I've been gardening for a while. I actually used to garden at my old house, and when my child he was about 2 or 3 years old, because we moved here when he was 4. So, yeah, he was about 2 or 3. So he used to enjoy being out there and playing in the yard. And I just did like a bed garden and some buckets in the back, and I had a compost bin. And then when I decided to move, I didn't know what was going. This was my first time in a real homeowners association. Long story. We'll talk about that later. But a real homeowners association, and I just I just gave my stuff to another fellow gardener in the neighborhood. I mean, he made out. He came and picked up the bed, the soil, the everything. He got it all. The buckets, everything. So I just gave it away when I moved. And then I started once that thing hit in 2020, we had time on our hands. I started also working remotely from home, which gave so much time to do other stuff. And I just said, well, let me get back to gardening the best I can in the position I'm in. um so I ended up starting to garden again, getting back into it. And as you can see, that's why I have seeds from 2010, because those were seeds left over from the old garden. And I do have an experimental video and the updates coming soon on that, because actually the tomato seeds that were from like 2012, they seem to be sprouting. It took them a little extra, but they seem to be coming up out the dirt. So I'm going to give it a little time so I can absolutely confirm that that's what it is, but it looks like tomatoes to me. The squash, they were from 2010, and I don't see any growth yet. So, but maybe it's not ready. So, and we've had a whole lot of rain just drenching everything. So we'll see what that update's coming in the next couple of weeks. But I'd still say, I don't care what it is, don't throw your seeds away. Because even if it has a 10% germination rate, throw them all in a hole and see what comes up. Don't throw them in the trash. Um, but here I am cutting the smaller pieces for the brackets with the trusty Sawzall. The Ryobi is the bomb. The battery operated of it is the bomb. I just wish the batteries would last a little longer, because you could get into something and be like, darn, I didn't charge this battery. And I don't know what they're doing to stuff now, but I had a drill one time. It got stolen. I missed that drill so bad. I could not charge it for 6, 8 months, a year, and go pick that drill back up and work with it for at least an hour and a half after it has not been charged a year. But this stuff, you do have to charge it. Try to keep um any batteries not in use on the charger. I may leave whatever I just used, leave the battery on it, but all in all, it's still a good appliance. Just make sure you have multiple batteries so you can move on and won't have to stop what you're doing. Because me, I suffer with ADHD, decision fatigue, everything. I'm just all over the place. And I'll forget what I'm doing or walk away and I won't touch it again for a few days if I just have to stop because of no battery. So I have to get on my son all the time. Like, why would you sit the battery next to the charger? Just put it on the charger. So I have three chargers, two batteries, and all of this equipment. The blower, I actually added the blower to the setup, and I think I'm gonna have to add the trimmer because once I get back in the setting up stuff in this backyard, my yard man's gonna look at me crazy. Like, am I trimming all of this? Are you? You know, because he does it real cheap. I really appreciate him. He does it very, very cheap. And I don't want to put more work out there. They have to pay more. I just can kind of get out there and do some stuff myself and maintain the garden myself. Also, you don't want anybody nicking your fruit trees and things like that, so you got to be very careful around those. But here we go. We have all the sides, the brackets that we're building. And it's basically once you get Home Depot to cut this wood for you, if I already had this part prepared, or you could get them to cut the little two by fours if you're having to buy them or pull them out the scrap bin, you can get them to cut that. As you know, if you're real nice and show some kindness and be nice and smile and ask very politely, they may go ahead and cut that for you too, even though it's the scrap wood. Um, and get your 8-inch pieces. Well, I would say get 9-inch pieces to go ahead and make your corner brackets. Get you some decking screws because decking screws do hold up in the weather. And I think I had 2-inch decking screws or 1.5 on this. Cannot remember. It's been a while. But the decking screws are meant to hold up in the weather and not rust away. And you can really, truly, with like an extra hand, put these together in a matter of all three within an hour. Because all you need at that point is the drill. You're not cutting, you're not measuring, you're not doing any of that. So don't be afraid. You can have the garden of your dreams. And and also I would say with Home Depot, watch the lumber prices. Um and watch for coupons. If you have a card with them, they're sending out a coupon every month now. So save all of this stuff for one purchase. I get 10% coupons. I got $25 off of 150 one month. So they kind of alternate them, but pretty much it's been like every month you're getting a coupon in the mail. So please watch your mail and save all this purchase for one whop. So if you want to build 6 beds in your yard, that's going to be with screws, lumber, a couple of bags of dirt or amendments or whatever. You're going to be looking at that $200 easy. So at that point, say those 20 bucks. 20 bucks is 20 bucks these days. It ain't even a tank of gas no more, but I digress. It's something. It's something from the grocery store. It's something. So $20 makes a difference now. Um, so go ahead and look out for those coupons. I have a little bit. As you can see, I'm gonna roll out my mechanic stool eventually because the bending and standing. I have a slight case of vertigo. So the bending and the standing starts to get to me after a while, and you couple that with heat, it gets a little rough. So I look like I'm tired out sometimes because I have to kind of catch my breath and catch my balance sometimes too. Um and I think at this point my battery might have been acting up or giving out. Might have been time to replace it because you could tell when they slow down or lose power that the battery is waning on these tools. You will see me in this shirt a lot, and don't uh, not that you'll ask because I'm in the yard. I'm not dressing up. You see me in a bonnet a lot. If I'm wear the bonnet when it's a lot of pollen outside because that pollen gets into your hair and it will stick with you. And we don't wash our hair every day, so it will stick with you and be in your hair, and you wondering why you hacking and sneezing and everything. So I will always kind of cover my head most times, and when I don't, I'll be like, darn, I forgot I was in the yard, and I'll be sneezing that night wondering why, or coughing that night wondering why, because I bought the pollen all in the house. And with the pollen, it'll be all over your clothes. So please, when you come in, don't sit on your furniture. I have to tell my son, he wants to come in from school, don't sit on that couch because you got pollen all over you. And we're in Florida. It's thick. It's thick right now. Um, so be aware of that when you're working outside in the garden in our weather. And I have two oak trees, so they really spit out a lot of pollen. And I could go out there and my mailbox is covered in it. It's a brown mailbox with yellow dust all over it. So here I am putting the two sides together, screwing the board on the ends, and I will connect the two long sides once I get the short sides together. That's where that other hand will come in, because you need somebody to kind of hold it while you're screwing it in. But here is a good way when you're alone to do it solo without much issue. And again, I probably said 2 inch screws earlier. They're 2.5 inch screws, so they'll go all the way through the 2x4, and the I think those are 4x12x1s or something, and hold them up and together. Now, like I said, this was planted I mean, these were built months ago, somewhere around in December or January, probably December, before we got that crazy cold snap. And now I now have, and I'll do a garden update too. I now have carrots in one bed, just a bed of carrots, because the planting calendar from our local standard feed said carrots was okay in January. So I'm praying that I get some because I love carrots. And the other bed has some beets, golden beets, and radishes, daikon radishes, and um other kinds of radishes. And I planted this stuff in February, so like mid-February. Seems like the radishes should be done because everybody's saying 20, the package says 21 days and 35 days. And I'm like, well, where's my radishes? Because I don't see a one. But I'm still waiting and hoping and wishing. And I have it said it was okay to plant kohlrabi. So I planted some kohlrabi. I have some other greens, and I planted, excuse me, I have Swiss chards and kales and red onions and white onions, the whole red onions from seed. So I'm really excited to see if those turn out. I'll be waiting on those to fall, but they'll go good in my fall cooking and my Thanksgiving feast and things like that. But yeah, I'm sure they take a pretty long time to grow from seed. I think it's like 4 to 6 months. So we'll see. And y'all can follow me along this journey. Okay, here you will see the lifesaver. This seat, this rolling mechanic seat, was the best thing I ever bought. Back when I bought it last year sometime, it was like $20 at Harbor Freight. But oh my goodness, it makes life so much easier. I use this thing when I'm painting baseboards, lower levels. You can use it when you're cleaning the lower cabinets to get you down low so you're not getting up and bending over. This thing is just like a household item to be had. I will probably link it in the description box below, and I'll link the Ryobi tool set in the description box below in case any of you are interested in these things. I'm not getting anything from it, but just so you know where to find it. Um, Continue watching. I've sped it up for you a few more minutes and you'll see the finished product. I do want you to hit that like button if you like my content. Comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for any future videos, part 1, 2, 3, garden updates, anything that I post. You will be the first to know. So I look forward to you watching my future videos, and I hope again that you enjoy this one. Okay, so here I am finishing it up, and I am I had to stop recording because I needed my extra set of hands, the cameraman, to hold up the sides while I put them together. Hope you, but you get the gist of it. Put one, the two boards on each side, bolt them down to the brace with the 2.5-inch decking screws. And after this, I will show you the finished product as after we move them to the backyard. I do thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoy this video. Check out the tag on the side of part 1. And please take a look at some of my playlists. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.